But here we are. Okay, so the playoffs are on. We know Shohei Ohtani had an unbelievable year. His first year with the Dodgers, the $700 million man, 50-50, first guy to ever. He had 54 home runs, 59 stolen bases, right?
Yeah.
First guy ever do it. But in the postseason, he's just 6 for 27, no stolen bases, is homerless in 6 games, right? In his last 6. He hit one in the first game, but he's homerless in his last 6. And he doesn't have a single stolen bases. And here he is. He's 4 for 20 with no extra base hits, 12 strikeouts since that 3-run homer in Game 1 of the NLDS. Mm-hmm. So he's scuffling.
He is.
Big time. You cannot ignore that he's scuffling. And so people are asking, Dave Roberts, the manager of the Dodgers, should they move him out of the leadoff spot? Because, you know, if he can't get on with nobody on base, you move him down. He's been hitting with people on base. Yeah. 6 for 8.
6 for 8. That's
so you want to get him up to bat when there's maybe people there. But here's the bigger thing, and this is the question we need to ask.
I don't like where you're going already.
Now, why do big stars struggle in the postseason? This is not a Shohei thing. Okay, we just saw Mookie Betts go 0 for 22. Aaron Judge just hit his first home run of the postseason last night, right? When the Yankees beat the Guardians.
Yeah.
Dave Winfield, a Hall of Fame player, was called Mr. May instead of Mr. October like Reggie Jackson because he struggled in the postseason when he played for the Yankees. Ted Williams, the last player to bat over 400, batted 406. Yep. Lifetime batting average in the playoffs, 200.
That's a huge drop-off.
Okay, so Barry Bonds, until his last time, I think when he was finally with the Giants, he got the World Series and the Angels 2002, he batted almost 500. But prior to that, struggled.
So before the juice.
No.
That's what you're saying.
No, but even with the juice, he wasn't hitting in the postseason.
Okay. Yeah.
But my point is that is it mental? But then the other guys have produced, because we talked about John Carlos Stanton with the Yankees who revs it up. He has only Babe Ruth has more postseason home runs than him.
Which is crazy. And right? got random guys, too, like an average player, Kike Hernandez.
Will be right.
All of a sudden, he's like clamoring for these positions, like, yeah, put me up. And you're like, wait a minute, you're solid. We love having you, great utility guy. But all of a sudden, he becomes, like you said, Big Papi all of a sudden. So it's a great question. It's what makes baseball so interesting. The one thing I can just say is, you're going to have these bad droughts. The worst thing about it throughout a 162-game season, the worst part about it is when they tend to happen. So it's almost like you're due 2 to 3 slumps a season, right? When it's stretched out over 162. The problem is, I'm in that slump, but I'm in that slump now.
And people don't want to hear it from Ohtani because he was so good. And had a great year. It's the same thing with Judge. Like, this is
58 homers,
right.
MVP. And what makes it funny
Both
about
those
Judge,
guys are going to be MVP.
Yeah, what makes it interesting about Judge, too, is that, dude, they just pitched to get to him. They walked Soto to get to Aaron Judge.
An intentional
walk Soto to get to Judge. You never thought you'd be like, oh, they'd never do that.
Are they crazy?
What are they crazy? And I mean, he ended up getting a fly out and sack fly and got somebody in. But my point is, like, when you're struggling, they're not looking at you as Aaron Judge right now or Shohei. They're looking at, all right, he's in a slump. We got to do what we got to do to win. Now, you still put respect on their name. That's without a doubt. But yeah, it's just weird. And we talk about DeWitt as well.
Bobby Witt Jr.
Was struggling as well, and he's had an amazing season, arguably an MVP.
He could have, if it wasn't for Judge, he would have been the MVP of the American League. Right.
It is just this strange thing. Now, let's go more proactive. If you are Dave Roberts, who, by the way, scuffed and laughed at the idea.
He chuckled. He
chuckled. He's like, and I think his point is, this dude has been remarkable to the point of a historic season.
I think
this guy's been a machine. He's going to figure it out. Because of a few at-bats, I'm not going to just all of a sudden shift the entire thing real quick. And I think that the reason why you don't have to overly consider it quite yet is because you've won the series before, the DS. Now you're 1-1 in this one, heading into Game 3. You don't have to do desperate things quite yet. I'm already got to do desperate things with my bullpen and, to have them out here. I don't have to switch quite yet. If they were down 3-1 and it was, dude, we got to throw everything at them, the whole entire kitchen sink, everything but the kitchen sink, then all right, great, I get it. You're all in because we're gonna lose this elimination game. 1-1 tied. You got some things going late in Game 2. I don't think you necessarily have to overreact yet.
All right, I disagree, and I think this is where managing comes in. It's easy to pencil somebody at the top of the lineup and just leave them there, right? A manager is the one who looks at the circumstances and says, I need to make a change here to help my team. I need to get him at bats with runners on base. He's 6 for 8.
This is just different. He's different.
People pitch differently and afraid when he has runners on base than going at him when nobody's on base, because the worst that he could do is hit a solo home run, which is not as bad as a 3-run home run or a 2-run double.
Yep.
And I've seen managers make moves and not make moves. I remember when the wild thing was pitching was the reliever, Mitch Williams, for the Phillies in the World Series. And what they did was they left him in because he was the closer all year. And guess what? He didn't have it, and he blew like 2 or 3 games, and they lost the World Series to Toronto. I also saw Joe Torre in 96. The Yankees fall behind 2-0. They lose 2 games at home. There are 3 players who played all year: first base, left field, and third base. Right? Tino Martinez, Wade Boggs, and their left fielder and their right fielder, Paul O'Neill. He took all 3 of them out of the lineup. Now, you might say panic, right? Put in Cecil Fielder, Darryl Strawberry, and Charlie Hayes. And guess what? The Yankees won the next 3 games on the road.
He brought in all the MLB, bro.
Yeah, it was called the Soul Patrol when they all came in. That was what they called them. But the point is, he wasn't afraid to make a move. I think that Dave Roberts should move Shohei down. He became the leadoff hitter because Mookie Betts got hurt. That wasn't his real batting spot, and he flourished, right? And he had the great year, but he is obviously scuffling, okay? And Mookie's been hitting better, right? He's got his thing. Maybe put him back up, put him second so he could get up. I don't have an issue with that. That's not a demotion. That's making a managerial shift.
Two things. You said Joe Torre did that when?
96.
Okay. When was the Phillies?
He won, though.
No.
93 or 92.
Okay. Here's the reason why I bring it up. Not even trying to be funny. You know good and well, managers don't manage like they used to.
Not all of them.
That's true, not all. But I'm saying a lot of this stuff, you know how it goes. Here's what we're doing. Here's the script. And Dave Roberts, I'm not going to act like he doesn't have any control or any power. So he has
strings on his arm?
But that's just, most of them do. Probably 85, 90% nowadays. The analytics, the numbers, if you do this, we're going to do this. Don't worry about this. It says if we stay with this, it'll work out. So that's one thing I think. You keep bringing up gut feeling 90s stuff, right? And I get it. And I'm not actually opposed to what you're saying.
Because sometimes
you got to say, you know what, I'm feeling like Mookie's hitting better. And if we do this and Shohei, we'll see a guy.
And Shohei can be up when people are on base.
And then maybe that just makes him just that hair better. But I think you also brought up the Joe Torre situation. They were down 2-0. And I think being 1-1, got some things going late in that game too. I think he's feeling like we win the way we've been doing it today. Now we're up 2-1. The pressure's on them. We're fine. If they lose tonight, then I'm with you that I think he'll start to okay, we're down 2-1. If Shohei goes 0 for 4, that kind of a thing. By the way, Shohei, if he gets on, whether it be walk or hit, I need him to get back to trying to steal, too.
Yeah, not stealing.
He's not stealing. He's tried. He got picked off for the first time in so long. I don't know if that's freaked him out. And I know he's also said something. We can come back and give you a little bit what he said about this as well, about his reaction first postseason. He kind of had an honest answer.
Let's do that.
Let's do that.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, see, I got you.
877-99 on Fox. Ohtani. Dave Roberts, should he drop him in the lineup? Or is it just a taboo to even think about the future National League MVP, that there's no way Ohtani should be dropped, but he's scuffling.
He is.
Big time. There's no denying it.
He'll be fine.
877-99 on Fox. Where are you? Dwayne in Michigan, you're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Dwayne, on a Worship Wednesday?
Fellas, what's going on? You guys are y'all my guys, man. Y'all the best on radio. So
thank you, brother.
Yeah. So, Rob and Calvin, Rob, you hit it on the nose, man. I mean, Dave Roberts has to be a better manager than this. I mean, Ohtani is struggling, and you got to think, pitching is better in the playoffs.
Thank you.
And you look at it, Ohtani batting first, the pitcher is looking at it like this. Okay, at the very worst, we're going to give up a run to this guy. But then if you bet him down third or fourth, now that pitcher is thinking, okay, I got traffic on the bases, and I got to pitch careful because one swing of the bat with this guy, we're going to give up 4 runs rather than if he was pitching
right.
first, and we give up 1 run. So you hit it on the nose, man. I mean, what is Dave Roberts doing? I mean, we can see this better than him, and he's getting paid all that money. So you knocked it out of the park, man, and keep doing what y'all doing.
Appreciate
you, Dwayne.
Yeah.
But let me ask you this, Dwayne. I mean, well, I don't know if he's still there, but just like, if we're not down, we're 1-1 in this series. We win today. Like, I think the overreaction is we're getting towards elimination game. We're 1-1 right now.
But it might be too late though. Is if you make the change and it works out, and Ohtani gets a hit with runners in scoring position, then you'd be like, see, he made an adjustment. He looked at the numbers. He's 6 for 8 with runners in right.
Runners on base,
compared to where he is now. Q in Arizona, you're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Q?
Man, what's happening, fellas?
Doing great. How are you?
Doing well. We're talking about the best sports in the world, according to who? Me. Anyway,
hey,
you and Rob Parker,
Hey, Q, me and you both. You know how I feel about baseball.
The greatest, yeah, I know.
I'm gonna let y'all cook.
I see you, Stephen A. Man. Hey, listen. Hey, listen. That last phone call, no, you didn't hit it on the head because you're panicking. They got to win 4 games. They got to win 4. They only won 1 game. Now, I can understand if Ohtani struggle today. Okay, then, all right, this game, 4. Wait, 1, 2, 3.
Today's game,
it will be game. He's saying it would be.
Yeah, it would be game 4.
After today. Now, if he struggled today, I'm going to make that adjustment. What the Dodgers need to do, definitely in the off season, they got to get their pitching together, the middle relievers. They got to get that together.
Well, they got to be able to keep those guys healthy.
Well, it's the health more than anything.
There's a lot of injuries, and again, they want to bring Kershaw back again, and he's never going to be ready in the postseason. It doesn't make any sense. I get the feel for him because he was a Dodger. He's going to go down as one of the greatest pitchers of our lifetime, of this generation, I should say. You know what I mean, and all that. But sometimes you got to let it go.
Hey, somebody's got to tap you on the shoulder and be like, all right, it's that time. Come on home. Come on home. 162 games a year. You go deep in the postseason most of your career. Come on home.
Right.
It's that time. You just enjoy a wonderful career.
And it's not like making changes, but that's what a manager's supposed to do. And here's just my, you say you don't want to panic or whatever. But what if you make the move and it works? And it works, then it goes like, Dave Roberts is a good manager. He didn't let the stature of Ohtani get in the way of him managing. Do you know what I mean? Of doing the same old, well, I'm going to leave Ohtani. If he leaves Ohtani in the leadoff spot and they lose the 3 games in New York and Ohtani goes 0 for 12 or 0 for 15, people are going to look back and go, why didn't Dave make an adjustment? They do it with football coaches all the time, right?
And they do that in MLB. I mean, I don't know if any manager has had this much success and has been this scrutinized.
But the problem is they've won the division all these years. They only have 1 World
No, I
Series.
agree. I get it. I absolutely get it. But it's one of those like Dave's like, it's my Tyrese. What more do you want from me? Type situation. I hold off. I see how he looks today.
What more do you want from me?
And also, listen, Mookie's hit better. Mookie ain't been hitting great. He's 1 for 8 right now in this series. So it also is another thing I think we're not talking about Mookie enough. It ain't like Mookie's been a world beater right now. He had a decent couple of games previously. Let's hope they both can get their acts together. All right.